Today on MB Media TV, we have financial advisor Mrs. Tearanie Parker on with us today, here to share her journey in becoming who she is today. So first of all, Mrs. Parker, thank you so much for being a guest on our platform.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. You're welcome. Here at MB Media, we love to jump right into our interviews, to have those genuine conversations with genuine people just like yourself, just to share a portion of your life's journey. So the first thing we love to ask is, where are you from?
I am from South Florida, so Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale, Miami area.
Got you. So in Florida, how was it growing up? Is it different from VA or?
A lot different, yes. Actually, it's becoming more and more diverse every time I go home, which I love that. I love the fact that it's very, very diverse. So it's different from when I was growing up.
Gotcha.
It was diverse, but not like it is right now. And so I enjoy that. It's so many different people there and different foods because I like to eat.
Yeah. Well, you need a beach?
So I don't live near a beach. Well, I would say it's about 15 minutes away.
Got you.
About 15 minutes away.
Got you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hollywood Beach. So, there's different beaches down there. Yes.
Hollywood.
Hollywood, Florida.
First time I heard that, Hollywood.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hollywood, Florida.
So if you could go back to the 12-year-old Mrs. Parker to talk to her, what would you say to her? What advice would you give her?
So that's a loaded question because at 12 years old, I was living with my mom and her abusive husband. And so as a 12-year-old, I went through trauma, lots and lots of trauma. So if I can go back, what would I tell myself? I would tell myself that you're going to make it. Hold on.
Right.
Believe that God has your back. Even though it seems like he's not there at this moment, he is there. And he has always protected you and he will always protect you.
Got you.
And that to just stay focused and keep your eyes on him and not on the circumstances, no matter how difficult it is right now, you will make it.
Wow. It had to be a lot growing up.
It was.
And seeing stuff like that.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Wow.
It
Wow.
was.
Wow. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and what led you to become a financial advisor? How was that journey like?
So my journey was a very interesting one because I did not seek to become a financial advisor at all. As a matter of fact, my passion was education. I grew up in a family where there were a lot of educators. And so I believe that was my call, my path. So I have a master's in education. I went to Regent University. I thought, this is it.
That's it.
Well, it wasn't. I got into the education field and I loved the babies, the 4-year-olds, the preschoolers. That was my thing. And I was going that path, and actually I was going to become a vice principal. I was actually going up for my second master's, and the Lord stopped me in my tracks.
Wow.
And just encouraged me that this was not the path that he wanted me to take. He encouraged me in that he sent people to tell me that. And so, and my passion as a teacher began to wane. So, when you first get into your career, you are very passionate. You're like, this is it. That started changing. And I started becoming drained and almost feeling like I'm not supposed to be here. And so one of my parents was in the financial field. And out of nowhere, she said to me, you should be in the financial field, because she was in the financial field in a different arena than what I'm in. But she put a spark in me in regards to looking into that. So when I left the school system and decided to stay home to be with my kids because my husband was in the Navy and was in and out the sea. So during those times where I was home with my children, I began to look into other avenues. And so I saw an ad and it was actually on the VA site. I was looking for VA jobs.
Right,
Can you believe that? I was looking.
Didn't know why.
Didn't know why. I was just on that site. And on that site, it was an ad from a brokerage company that was looking for, and it's how specific it was. They were looking for attorneys. Well, actually, it was estate attorneys, CPAs, and teachers. They were looking for teachers to come into the financial industry. And so I went to be, quote unquote, interviewed by a gentleman at that time that was over that firm. And he immediately saw something in me. Thank God.
Wow. Wow.
He saw something in me and said, you're going to do very well. You're going to go very far, and we want you here.
So did the person who told you should be in the finances, did she see something in you?
I think that she saw, or let me say this, I think she was being used by God.
Okay.
I think it was the Lord who prompted her to say that to me. Because I wasn't doing anything financial wise. I was, a preschool teacher. But there was something, I guess, the Lord put upon her heart that when she looked at me, she saw something else. And God would do that. God will use anybody at any time to pull out the best in you, to allow you to see what you don't see in yourself. He can use anyone. And that's exactly what he did.
Wow, that's powerful. It's good to hear that, because sometimes people don't know what to do next,
Yes.
Wow.
Or they think they're where they're supposed to be. When God has another,
something else.
Yes, something good. Better. Not saying that what they were doing was not great.
Right.
It is great.
Right.
Teaching is great. But he wanted me to be in the financial industry teaching, but teaching in a different way. So all the skill sets that I acquired, they never went away. They actually enhanced who I am as a financial advisor.
Wow.
I teach a lot because that's my background. And that is what helps my client understand financial concepts, because I break it down to them on a very basic elementary preschool level.
Wow.
Where they understand it.
That's good.
So it actually helped me be who I am.
Wow. So when you are in purpose, there's a sense of joy.
Oh my goodness.
It's not work.
It's not work.
Yeah.
It's not work at all. It's like you're somewhere where it's always meant for you to have been there.
Right.
It has always been God's intention for you to be right there at that particular moment, at that particular time. That's how you feel. It doesn't feel like work at all. It feels like you're in your passion. You're doing what you love. Even if you got paid nothing, you would still
do it.
Do what you're doing.
Because you have a love for it.
Because you have a love for it.
I like that. I like that. Mrs. Parker, you have a financial philosophy that says it's not about what you make, but what you do with what you make. Talk about that.
So there are some people who feel that they cannot get to the next level financially because of their income. But what I have come to understand is that an individual that makes $40,000 a year versus an individual that makes $80,000 a year, that $40,000 a year individual, if they are managing their money well, if they are saving, if they are not entrenched with debt, they can actually do more with their money than the one that makes the $80,000 a year, who is deeply in debt.
Okay.
Cannot save, cannot invest, does not manage their money well. So you have two people with two different incomes, but one can manage their money well. One understands financial concepts, maybe not everything, but they understand that because I've not bogged myself down with debt, I now can pay myself. I now can invest in myself. that person would do much more and go farther than the one that makes the $80,000 that is totally a person that spends all that they have.
Got you. Wow. Amazing. Where did you get the idea called Funding an Empire come from? Where did that come from?
Well, everyone has an empire.
Yeah.
Your empire can be your career.
Right,
it can
right,
be
right.
your business if you're a business owner. It can even be a family, because if you are in charge of a family, you're in charge of their well-being, and that also includes their financial well-being. So everyone has an empire, whether they're a homemaker versus someone that owns a business. Everyone has an empire, and you're the fund manager over everything that comes into your hands. So all the monies that come into your house, it's up to you to allocate every one of those dollars.
So it's like investing into your empire,
Into yourself,
business,
into your life,
family.
into your, yes.
Right.
Yes,
Okay.
it's your empire.
I like that.
And you're the fund manager of all the monies that you have coming in your home.
So really, we're all CEOs.
Exactly.
I like it.
Yes.
So when you put empire on it and make it, personal, and it makes a person seem like they have something to invest in.
Right.
This is important.
Exactly. And you can have multiple empires. So you can have a business and then, you're also ensuring that your family is being taken care of, and that you're putting investments in place. You're making sure college funding is in place, life insurance is in place, that kind of thing. So your empire could be anything. It could be variations of different types of empires, but it's yours. So you must make sure that you're building wealth consistently when it comes to your empire.
Got you. Wow. Great segue into this next question. Why is it so important to create multiple streams of income?
Well, if you're living today,
Absolutely.
if you actually experienced COVID,
Yeah.
you know that one stream of income may not be enough. That can go away just like that. Having multiple streams of income is very, very important because of the fact there's that important factor, diversification, not having all your eggs in one basket. And so if you are like me and you believe in the word of God, Ecclesiastes 11:2 says, invest in 7 ventures, yes, in 8, for you do not know what disaster may come upon the land. So if the Bible is instructing us to have diversification when it comes to our income, when it comes to our investments, then we need to heed to that. You should not have your eggs all in one basket. So if you have a job, if you have a career, there are a lot of other people that have the same thing, but they have side hustles. There's more than one income that's coming into that home, and that's a good thing, because if that one income goes away, you still have other incomes that are coming in.
Some people may say, Ms. Parker, I want to do better. But I'm living paycheck to paycheck. So what would you say to them? Because a lot of people struggling right now.
Yes. So this is the thing. There's only 2 ways that you can ensure that you don't live paycheck to paycheck, because paycheck to paycheck is actually a form of poverty. People don't want to believe that, but it is, because if something happens to that paycheck, to that one paycheck, it'll throw you off.
Right.
And then if something happens to the next paycheck, that's really going to really devastate your life. So when it comes to making sure that you don't live paycheck to paycheck, first of all, limiting your debt will bring more income to you so that you can allocate those dollars to investments, to savings, to what have you. Also, not just eliminating debt or lessening your debt, because sometimes you can't eliminate all of it. Some people will still have some form of debt, and they're all debt is not bad debt. So also increasing your income has to also play a part. So you're lowering your debt and you're increasing your income. So people will say, well, I don't get a raise every year. How can I increase your income? That's where the multiple streams of income comes into place, where you're finding other ways to bring income in your life so that you can be ensuring that you're not living paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
You know, some people say they have to go back to school to make sure that they, increase their income. Whatever you need to do, it may not be you going back to school. It may just be you getting a certification of some sort.
Right.
You know, it may be something else, but whatever you need to do to bring other forms of income to raise that income level in your home and lower your debt, that's how you're going to have an excess.
Right.
You're going to have discretionary income to be able to do what you need to do, which is saving, investing, and what have you.
So it's pretty much doing what you have to do until you can do what you want to do.
The sacred word is sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
The sacred word, or shall I say the word that everybody is horrified about, is discipline.
Yeah.
To them, that's a dirty word.
Yeah,
Discipline.
yeah.
Yes. There are times in your life where you must sacrifice and you must understand that discipline has to always be a part of your life when it comes to building wealth. Because it's gonna come down to the fact that if I'm not disciplined and I'm just doing whatever and spending whatever, if I'm doing that now, how will this affect me in the future? Every decision that you make is either leading you towards lack or increase. Every financial decision, shall I say, every financial decision that you make is leading you towards lack or increase. Always remember that.
I like that. Wow. What's one piece of financial advice you wish more people knew about?
Start as early as possible.
Ooh.
I wish somebody had said this to me in my 20s. I would be in a much different place than I am right now. I'm okay, but I would be in a better place if someone had said to me in my 20s, start with your retirement now, start contributing. You see that your employer is contributing a match. You need to be contributing.
Ooh.
Start saving. Do what you can. Even if it's $50 a month, do what you can. Start investing. Start as early as you can, because remember, we don't have a lot of time. I feel like I was 20 2 days ago, and now I'm in my 50s. Time goes by that fast.
Way too
so
fast.
You cannot. Time is a commodity, a precious commodity. We don't have a lot of. We think we do, and we don't.
Yeah.
So time is one of those things that you need when it comes to compounding interest upon interest. So you need time. You need to start as early as possible. And when you start, don't stop. Even if let's say something happens in your life where you have to not contribute as much to your retirement plan, still do what you can. Don't ever stop. Be consistent. That's another thing. Consistency is the key. Be very consistent.
Form that habit.
Right. And don't allow your past to define you or your family's history. My mom, I was raised in a single family home, and my mom, she eventually got married, but when she was single, I watched her live paycheck to paycheck.
Wow.
And I watched her savings be my grandmother and my Aunt Harriet. That was her savings. Whenever she needed money, that's who she went to. And so in my mind, I thought that was normal. That is not normal. I thought living paycheck to paycheck was normal because of what I saw being portrayed in my home. It's not her fault, because that's just what she had to do at that time. But it becomes something that becomes entrenched in your mind that, this is how it is. What else is there? And then what was a blessing was I met other people that showed me a better way. But had I not met those people, what I saw being mirrored or being, modeled, shall I say, in front of me, I thought that was the way it was when it comes to finances.
Right.
That is not the way it was, or not the way it should be.
Wow. So your steps were ordered.
By God.
Yeah, all the way through. I hear it.
By Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes.
I hear your story, your journey, that everything you experienced, somebody came to you and said, go this way.
Right.
It's amazing.
My life is no different than others. God will guide you even when you think he's not guiding you. He will lead you even when you think he's not leading you. Because there's always going to be times of preparation. There's always going to be times, of sacrifice. And you would think that, God is not here. He's not answering me. He's not hearing me, but he is.
He is.
You just got to keep walking.
Wow. It's amazing. Wow. So how can people find you if they're interested in getting their finances in order? How can they reach out to Mrs. Parker?
Well, they can call the office here, but
You want to share the number?
well, I'll do even better.
Okay.
I'll share you my direct line, which is 757-816-0253. That's actually my cell phone number.
Got you.
So you can call me at any time, but I'm also on Facebook. I have a Facebook page called Funding an Empire. I'm also on Instagram under Tearanie Parker. I'm also on TikTok under Tearanie Parker. So all the social media platforms you can find me, or you can just call me on my cell.
Wow. We really appreciate you sharing your journey.
Well, I appreciate you allowing me to. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank
you
you
so much.
You're welcome.
All right.